This is the Town of Babylon Planning Board. Today is January 4th, 2020. Matt Esposito. Our first item is public hearing. Is Denise there?
I'm here.
Okay. All right, Richard, before we begin, do we need you to state for the record that this is being held remotely as pursuant to the governor's executive order?
Yeah, this is being held pursuant to the executive order and New York State Public Officers Law. And I think we also have a statement that Denise will read for you.
Okay, Denise?
The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void.
Hey, thank you very much. I had a public hearing, site plan review, relief of covenants, restrictions of the town covenant and restrictions related to a convenience store. Denise, why don't you read it, begin the agenda.
Sure. So number one, job number 20-07 ADIN, Bola Management Corp. They propose to demolish an existing gas station in order to construct a 2,680 square foot Bola Market gas station convenience store with 6 pump islands and a 3,456 square foot canopy along with associated site improvements. Additionally, requests lifting of previously imposed planning board and town board covenants and restrictions.
Okay. Thank you very much, Matthew. We have representatives from the applicant.
We do. I just added 5 members of the application team. We have David Altman.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We also have Chris Tartaglia from High Point Engineering, Andrew Villari from Stonefield Engineering, and Hansley Mohan and Matthew Ingber, also of Brown and Altman. And I believe they're all promoted to panelists and with us live.
Okay. Who wants to present the proposed application to the board on behalf of the applicant?
I will, Mr. Chair. This is David Altman from Brown Altman in DeLeo. I'll give my appearance as well, which is 538 Broad Hollow Road, Suite 301W, Melville, New York, for the applicant. As mentioned, a couple of other folks in attendance with me this evening. Chris Tartaglia from High Point Engineering. Chris and his company are the civil engineers on the project. And Andrew Villari, who just has joined us visually, is from Stonefield Engineering, and he is our project traffic engineer and consultant. And I also note that I have a couple of my associates who are joining in to watch and hopefully learn a few things in the process, guys.
Well,
So,
this is an interesting time for public hearings. Virtually.
it is, Mr. Chair, and it's on the one hand, it's convenient, particularly when you have multiple hearings in different jurisdictions at the same time. But I think for the most part, we'd all rather be in front of you and visit with you in person when we make applications such as this.
Okay, so you're the attorney on behalf of
I'm the attorney for the applicant, correct?
All right. So why don't you proceed?
Sure. So the property itself is 616 North Broadway, or also known as Route 110, Amityville, New York. The tax map number of the property is District 100, Section 165, Block 1, Lot 32.
Okay,
The
now,
property.
hold on, let me just check here. Let's give Matt an opportunity to put the site up on the screen that we're sharing with you.
Thanks, Matt. That aerial is very helpful and sort of ties into the initial portion of my presentation. Property itself is zoned Business E, and it has been part of the town's gasoline service station overlay district for close to 60 years now. The property, I will note, having initially received a C of O for a gasoline service station on March 18th of 64, and that C of O number is 47453. A subsequent C of O was issued on September 2nd of 92, number 99056. That C of O was in connection with rehabilitation and refurbishing of the site, as well as the addition of the existing pump island canopy.
Mhm.
Now, if we could go back to the aerial for a second, that would be really helpful. Thank you, sir. Now, the property is situated at the northwest corner of North Broadway and Bentley Road. The lot area of the premises is 29,910 square feet, or 0.64 acres. For what I consider, and is typically considered what we call a legacy site, sites that were built in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, this is a fairly large site for a gasoline service station. Typically for legacy sites, which are at busy corners such as this, you often see sites as small as 10,000 square feet, but 12 to 15 is typical. So this is a reasonably large site. The site itself has frontage on Route 110 of approximately 173 feet, and on Bentley Road itself of about 150 feet. As you can see from the aerial photograph before us, the character of the area is mixed in terms of its usage. To the north of the property, which is Zone Business E, there is a medical office building. Then interspersed in between are two dwellings. Then you have a smaller gas station at the corner of, I believe it's Francine and North Broadway right there. And if you go further north, there's actually on the opposite side, on the southeast corner of Route 110 and Jefferson, you have the Gulf Station right there.
Mhm.
That Gulf Station also, aside from similar configuration to this site, abuts residential and has a convenience store of roughly similar size in it. To the south of us, our property is Zone Business E / residential, and we have the mobile home trailer park due south, which is fairly evident from the aerial photograph in front of the board. To the west, we have single-family residential, including the parcel abutting us, which is split-zoned businessy and single-family residential. And then moving west along Bentley, you'll see again single-family residential development. East of us, on the east side of 110, we have Quality Auto Body, and then the Amityville Fire Department with small single-family homes sort of interspersed. There is an auto body shop further south. And then north of us, which is, I think, on the north side of, I believe it's Pathé Lane, you have mixed multifamily residential, as well as business. As you can see from the aerial in front of you, Route 110 is a 4-lane roadway, and as it relates to the site frontage itself on 110, you have 2 lanes heading south with a dedicated left turn lane. You have 2 lanes heading north, no dedicated turn lanes there. Bentley itself is a single lane east-west, and as is Pathé on the other side, single lanes east-west. It is a signalized intersection, and I will note that both Pathé and Bentley Road do contain signage which does not permit a right turn on red. Thank you. The other thing you'll note from the street level photo that we're looking at, particularly on 110, is that it is a divided roadway. So you cannot make a left turn out of the site on 110. You actually, if you intend to make a left, have to get onto Bentley, wait to queue up at the traffic light, and then make your left turn. Now, if you look at the site, and you know what, from the street level may be a little more helpful, if you wouldn't mind, Matt. Thank you. You can see that the existing building, which essentially is sort of a rehab of that which was initially built circa 64, it's tired. It's in need of an update and is not indicative or reflective of today's modern day gasoline service stations. And if the board is familiar with the Bola brand, and I hope you all are, BOLA has sort of been recognized and is recognized year in and year out as sort of the gold standard for gasoline and convenience stations throughout the island and the New York metro area. And right now, there is an existing 2,400 square foot building. There is, in fact, a convenience store, as you can see on the southerly portion of the property, on the building rather. The northerly part of the building is a former auto repair facility consisting of 3 bays. My understanding is that is no longer operational. You have at the moment 5 fuel dispensers with 10 fueling positions. As you can see from the photo you're looking at, there are, in fact, you have the overhead canopy, which was approved circa 92 from the rehab. And we have right now 2 curb cuts on 110, one fairly close to the north lot line, and then one almost at the intersection with Bentley. And then you have 1 curb cut on Bentley itself. And that is also fairly close right now to the intersection of Bentley and 110. And of course, then you have the existing planter and ground sign right at the southeast corner of the property. As I did mention the C of O history earlier, in 92, as part of the rehab, there was in fact, as mentioned, a set of CNRs, which were imposed by both the planning board and town board. Those CNRs were dated May 29th of 92, recorded in LIBOR 11511, page 243. And in salient part, those CNRs at the time did not allow for a convenience store. Fast forward to 1997, an application was made by the then owner of the store to seek relief from that CNR and allow the convenience store, which as exists today. The town board, by resolution number 584, dated August 20th of 96, granted the application, and subsequently the planning board, by resolution number 1997-123, granted a similar request to eliminate the condition restricting the use of the property without a convenience store. The convenience store, to my knowledge, has operated at the site since circa 1997. Now, if we could, Matt, possibly pull up the project site plan, that would be a big help. There you go. So what you see here is the proposed plan to redevelop the site, which consists of a complete raise and rebuild. Right now, the northerly portion of the site is not utilized, and I would say the site in and of itself is underutilized. And the plan that you have in front of you provides for a far more efficient use of the site, better on-site circulation, and better access. So the existing building will go, and BOLA is proposing to put in a brand new convenience store located on the northern third of the premises. The building itself will be 2,630 square feet. As such, part of the relief the applicant is requesting is a waiver on the limitation of store size from 1,500. And in addition, we are also requesting relief from the retail area floor size, which I believe is 800, and I think we're looking for roughly 1,336 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. The site provides for 12 on-site parking spaces, which are right in front of the store. There will be a 10 by 16 by 6 trash enclosure at the southeast corner of the building. That rear yard behind the building itself will be gated. You'll note both gates on the west side and on the east side. There we go. The building itself will be set back almost 32 feet from the property line. We will be maintaining a densely planted 10-foot buffer along the balance of the property line. In addition, we have a brand new pump island canopy. Yep, there we go. That's excellent. So you can see on the planting plan that Matt just previously pulled up. We have a brand new canopy, 96 by 36. And beneath that canopy will be 6 MPDs or multi-product dispensers, providing 12 fueling positions. The existing underground petroleum storage tanks will be removed, and you've seen that the applicant proposes 2 new tanks proximate to the southerly side of the pump islands. That too necessitates a bit of relief from the board, where 10-foot setback is required. The applicant is proposing 6. But I'll note the existing conditions in terms of setback are similar to what exists today, or as proposed, I should say. With regard to site access itself, you will note that there is a reconfiguration of site access. The northerly curb cut will be moved south on the property, and it will be channelized to provide for better access and easier turns into the site. Similarly, the south access on 110 will also be channelized and provide for better access back onto 110. The existing curb cut on Bentley, which is almost on top of the intersection, will be moved easterly. And from I know I'm speaking for my experts, but from a traffic perspective, is much preferred to remove the curb cut, which will be in this case full movement away from the intersection to avoid issues concerning queuing at the light. Interesting to note that the proposed BOLA, the new BOLA plan, and you can see from the site plan in front of you, proposes far more green space on site, and the numbers are 8,157 square feet of green space. Yep, that shows it. That shows it real nicely. Thanks, Matt. Or approximately 29.2% of the site will be dedicated to green space. And if any of you folks are familiar with BOLA, one of the things that the BOLA brand is noted for is its excellence in landscaping. BOLA maintains seasonal landscaping and is replaced quarterly to reflect the different seasons of the year. So I'm sure the board is familiar with some of the other BOLA sites in town, and I think you'll be pleased with this layout as well. The existing ground sign will be removed and a new sign would be put in place instead. It's going to be at the southeast corner inside that large planting area, but it will have better setback. It'll be set back 10 feet from 110 and over 20 feet from Bentley, where the existing sign is almost on top of the intersection itself. Matt, do we have an elevation of the building we can pull up? There you go. So this BOLA market, in addition, will also have a Tim Hortons coffee offering, which is a great supplement. And Tim Hortons is new to the market. If approved, I think this would be either the second or third Tim Hortons on the market, and it will be a nice complement to the standard BOLA market offering. And as you can see from the elevations and the proposed architectural design, it's similar to the BOLA site that was built down on 109 in Lindenhurst, as well as the one on Sunrise Highway in Copeg. Now, we were, prior to this hearing, Planning Department was gracious enough to provide us with their Planning Department memo dated the 28th of December. We've reviewed the memo with the applicant and the project team. We had no objection to the comments and recommended covenants in the memo. And with regard to the covenants themselves respectfully are dated, and I think planning has acknowledged that as well. And the new proposed covenants as set forth in that planning memo are consistent with what the town has requested of other prior applications to reflect the current operation and trends in the convenience and gasoline station industry. We have no objection to them. As I mentioned, the only comment I would mention, as I relayed to planning last week, relates to condition 22 on the hours of delivery, where right now it's recommended on Monday to Saturday, no truck deliveries from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. The applicant would respectfully request 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. And on Sunday, which the current recommendation is 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., we would respectfully request 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Other than that, I have no further comment with regard to the application. I know the board, I believe, has already been provided with our traffic study prepared by Stonefield Engineering. And in summary, that report found no adverse impact in terms of existing road conditions or service on the roadway, and parking to be adequate based upon the size of the convenience store proposed. Again, I'm sort of usurping my my expert here, or my teammate, but typically it's roughly the industry standard is sort of 4 spaces per 1,000 square feet, and you know, this building being less than 3,000, we're providing 12 spaces, and in addition, of course, you have the actual spaces at the pumps themselves to further supplement. So parking on this site is more than adequate here, and you'll see from the design compared to what exists today, it's far better site circulation in terms of around the pumps with adequate pass-by room between the pumps. If there's any questions of myself or the project team, we are here for you.
Pat, you're muted. Pat, you are muted.
Unmute. I am unmuted now. Okay, thank you for the presentation, and thank you for bringing up the memo. I had meant to ask you about that prior to your presentation, but just so we're clear, all of the conditions and covenants and restrictions, with the exception of the covenant and restriction, the restrict covenant for item 22 regarding the times when deliveries can be made, you have no objections, and you did voice for the record the hours that you would prefer deliveries to be made Monday through Saturday and on Sunday.
Yes,
So
sir.
other than that, you have no objection.
That's correct.
Thank you very much. Can we hear from the traffic engineer next?
Sure.
Sure.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Andrew Valeri. It's spelled V as in Victor, I-L-L-A-R-I. I'm a project manager at Stonefield Engineering Design with office addresses at 1601 Veterans Memorial Highway, Suite 330 in Islandia, New York, 11749.
Okay, I see that we've posted your biography, and that will be part of the record so that it reflects your qualifications. Talk to us about the changes in terms of access to this site and why, and anything else that you think is relevant regarding the traffic flow.
Sure. In terms of access, the existing access is provided via 2 driveways on Route 110. There's not too much control that's presently provided. In my review of the existing conditions, both driveways offer both ingress and egress to southbound 110. And then additionally, there is a full movement driveway on Bentley. As Mr. Altman mentioned, that's almost on the intersection. And in the future, that would be relocated about 120 feet further to the west. Along the state highway, what I want to point out is that we do have a permit from the DOT already. The DOT issued that permit on July 2nd of 2020. So that what that signifies is that the access that we're showing on the site plan with channelizing the ingress, channelizing the egress, all to southbound Route 110, they're totally on board with. They're totally on board with the scope of improvements that we're showing in the right of way. And what I want to mention, just to reiterate a couple of the points that Mr. Altman made, is that we are proposing a new sidewalk along all of the site frontages. So from a pedestrian perspective, this is a significant enhancement. We're redoing the entire 110 frontage, new curb ramp at the northwest corner, and then additionally, new curb and sidewalk all along Bentley as well. So this is a significant improvement from the state and offsite perspective, in addition to all the on-site improvements that Mr. Altman mentioned.
Okay, talk to us about the importance of the new access on Bentley to the west.
To the west, all right. Right, so there's a new full movement driveway proposed on Bentley Road to the west. It's getting spaced out further from the intersection, as I mentioned, about 120 feet. It's 121.8 feet further to the west than where the current driveway is. What that driveway provides is a secondary point of access aside from southbound Route 110. I think that the majority of the traffic going to the site would come from southbound Route 110, and that should make sense because it's an easy right off or right out. I'm sorry, right into the site, and then an easy right on back to get the same way you're going. When you have gas stations and convenience stores, you have this concept that's known as pass-by traffic. And what I mean by that is you may be heading south on Route 110 to get down to Sunrise Highway on your way to work in the morning, and you need to get gas. You see the light come on your dashboard. You're heading south. Bola pops up right in front of you. You could easily turn off, get into the fueling positions, and then turn back on and keep going down Route 110. So in terms of the access on Bentley Road, that's going to be the secondary point of access, where if you are a northbound motorist, you would be able to make a left turn at the traffic light, proceed west on Bentley Road, and then use that secondary point of access. Additionally, if you're looking to go back to the north, you would use the driveway on Bentley Road to wait at the traffic light, wait for your light to turn green, make a left turn to turn north. If the question may be regarding would any traffic proceed further west on Bentley, I think it's a very unlikely scenario just looking at what Bentley connects. Bentley only exists between Route 110 and County Line Road. There's not too many houses. It's about, I would say, maybe 6 to 8 houses on the north and south side of the street each. I think that the only people that would go to the Bola site and then head west, maybe they live on that street, but there's really no draw to increase what's known in the industry as cut through traffic. So I don't see it as an issue. I think that it does provide its utility via the secondary point of ingress and egress, as I mentioned.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the board members have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Hello, Jerry?
No, I'm good. I like it.
Okay, Frank?
No, it's a big upgrade.
Okay, Michael?
I was just going to ask, do they anticipate that the gas trucks leaving, after their deliveries would use the Bentley ingress egress, or would it just be strictly Route 110?
Chris, you want to take that?
Sure. Hi, folks. I haven't been introduced yet. My name
Please
is,
state your name and address for the record.
yes, sir. My name is Chris Tartaglia. My address is 521 Conklin Street, Farmingdale, New York, and I am the project engineer from High Point Engineering. So the way the truck,
I forgot to do this before. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, I do.
I
And
do
by
as
the way,
well.
that also applies to the traffic engineer. If you're an attorney, we know you're going to tell the truth, so we don't have to swear you in.
Oh, that's how that works.
Well, no, they have a little thing called a license where they're held to an even higher standard. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the formality. So the question is very well asked by Mr. Cafaro. So the way the tanker is going to work in this case is it will actually come in from southbound Broadway, make a right turn into the site, which is the only movement that can be made, and they will actually circulate in a counterclockwise manner around the outside of the canopy. Matt, you are good. Just exactly as Matthew had the cursor going like that. Stop at the tanks along the curb line there where the landscape area is, complete the delivery, and then pull back out onto southbound 110. So the short answer is yes, completely to and from Route 110.
Thank you.
Michael, any additional questions?
No, I don't.
Julianne?
I'm satisfied, thank you.
Okay, Ed?
I'm good.
All right. Thank you very much. Are there any members of the public that would like to address the board regarding this application?
For the record, Mr. Chairman, we did have one member of the public registered to participate tonight, but I do not see them in our waiting room to be added. And I failed to jump in at the beginning, but I'll just mention that this hearing is being live streamed on the Town of Babylon's YouTube channel. And following the presentation, we'll keep the record open for a minimum of 7 days. Anyone who missed their opportunity to speak tonight will be able to provide comments in writing that can be addressed to the Town of Babylon Planning Board, 200 East Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757, or to the email address planningcomments@townofbabylon.com. If you have any questions or require any additional information, please call the planning department at 631-957-3103.
Thank you very much, Matt. Matt, what do you recommend in terms of this hearing and keeping the record open?
So we do have a request for revisions that require some minor modifications to the site plan from both highway engineering and planning. We recommend extending the record to January 25th, 2021.
Okay, 25th, and you'll also be reviewing the request to adjust the hours of delivery.
Yeah, we can take that under review in the planning department.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was excellent, and we are, as a planning board and as an individual, I know we're very pleased with what the BOLA company has done to significantly raise the bar as it relates to gas operations and convenience stores. You've obviously invested millions of dollars in the town, and I know the town board last year had a public display of the improvements, and frankly, we hope to see these kinds of improvements throughout the town of Babylon for others. So having said that, let me just ask for a motion to extend the record. Motion by Jerry.
Motion.
Okay, second by Michael.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm opposed. Hearing none. The record is extended. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, fellow board members. We appreciate your courtesy and attention tonight and wish everybody a very healthy, happy new year. Thank you.
Happy New Year,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Denise, item B.
Okay, so item B, resolution modified site plan for Scribner's Error, planning board job number 18-51AE, Parkway Village Estates LLC.
Richard, do you want to comment about this?
This is a resolution correcting a prior Scrivener's error on the resolution, which is basically just correcting the date of the prior resolution.
Okay. Do we have a resolution for that, or do we just
Yes.
adopt the resolution as modified or as presented? We need a,
We have a resolution before us to modify the prior, and it needs a vote, Mr. Chairman.
right, thank you very much. Do any of the board members have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, a motion by Julianne,
Motion.
second by Ed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections?
I abstain.
With one abstention?
That's the one I have to abstain.
Is that
Right.
noted for the
Okay.
record, Denise?
I
Okay.
have it. Thank you.
Very good. All in favor with one abstention, approved.
Okay, we're on to C, communications. Items 1 through 18 is the same letter submitted to the planning board regarding planning board job number 18-25A, Gale Great Estates, expressing opposition to the applicant's approval. This is it's the same letter signed by 18 different people. So rather than read it into the record 18 times, items 1 through 18 are the same with different signatures.
I believe that these letters were also part of the packet that was sent to the board members. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Very good. So those are read and filed.
Right. So now we're on to communication number 19. Letter from Frank Ducci, Vice President, Homeowners Association, Great South Bay Estates, to the Town of Babylon Planning Board regarding Planning Board job number 18-25A, Gale Grace Estates. And he's removing previous recommendation for the applicant's proposal and has decided to remain neutral on this matter.
Okay, read and filed.
Item 20, letter dated December 18th, 2020, from Town of Huntington to the Town of Babylon regarding resolutions adopted by the Town Board of Trustees.
Okay, read and filed.
So we're gonna leave the reserved communications and we're gonna skip down to the minutes. November 16th, 2020.
Michael?
Yes, all the corrections have been made this afternoon. We went over them together and they've been made
Okay.
on the November 16, 2020 minutes.
Do any of the other board members have any questions or comments or suggested revisions? No? Pardon me? No. Okay, motion by Michael.
Yes.
Second by Dan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the minutes from December 14th, 2020.
There weren't any corrections to be made on these minutes, and that was gone over this afternoon.
Okay. Motion by Michael.
Yes.
Second, Julianne.
Second.
Favor? Aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved.
Now we're gonna go to page 6 of our reserved calendar. Public hearing date, August 24th, 2020. Number 1, Planning Board Job Number 18-25A, Gal Grace Estates of Copeg Modified.
For this application, we currently have comments pending from engineering, still reviewing the plans. And I believe some additional revisions will be required from planning and other departments. We recommend extending the record to January 25th, 2021.
Okay. Excuse me. Could I have a motion to extend the record? Motion by Dan,
Motion.
second by Frank.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, approved.
Public hearing date, August 3rd, 2020. A Planning Board Job Number 20-21B, Renzon Holdings LLC.
Same status update with regards to this application. We're still pending submission of some revised building plans for these 2 homes. We recommend extending the record to January 25th, 2021.
Okay. Could I have a motion to extend the record to January 25th? Motion by Ed,
Motion.
second by Julianne.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Public hearing date, September 21st, 2020. Planning Board Job Number 20-06 AE, Gaetano Pinello.
Same status with this job. I believe comments have all come in on these jobs, or from the various departments rather, and they're currently being reviewed by planning staff. We recommend extending the record to January 11th, 2021.
Okay. Motion by Julianne to extend the record,
Motion.
second by Frank.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Now we're going to move to the addendum. We have 1 architectural review, application number 134880 and 134881. Tenzin Dalkar.
Okay.
Construction of a new house.
Yeah, this is a construction of a new house. It's actually a fire damage, and everything is in good order from the planning department. Roof drainage is added, and there are no further comments.
Okay. Any questions by the board members?
No.
No.
Okay, motion by Michael,
Motion.
second by Dan. Dan, second? Okay, second by Julianne.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing further.
Nothing further? Okay. Matthew, anything regarding our next meeting that you want to bring to our attention?
No, I don't believe we have any public hearings or new applications on before next week. So it'll probably just be a work session. We might have some architectural reviews, but nothing on the calendar for next week. And then following that, we are off on the 18th for Martin Luther King Junior Day, and we'll pick back up on the 25th of January, and I believe there is a hearing scheduled for that date, a minor subdivision.
Thank you. Any of the other board members? Any questions, comments? Hearing none.
No.
Leanne, we need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:41 PM.
7:41. Okay. Second by Ed.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay, this